getting consumers to click on the Zillow platform to, oh, I'm having some thoughts of selling my house. What could an offer be? Is much bigger than any other agent partnership play that they could ever come up with. Why? Because of traffic with Zillow. This is Byron Lazine and Nicole White, and you were tuned into episode 374 of The Real Word.
Word is up.
Compass, or not, let me redo that. I don't know why I said compass.
Well, because you're like, it sounds like you're fighting with Compass right now.
Ready? Yeah. This is Byron Lazine and Nicole White, and you were tuned into episode 374 of The Real Word.
Word is up.
Opendoor stock is finally up over $1. It's been a minute, and people are selling, agents are selling homes for $1. So
wow, look at you.
Look at that. We've got
those.
We got two stories, this Opendoor stock acceleration and then this $1 listing strategy. We'll dig into both. We're not talking Compass today because tomorrow here on the channel, we have the interview with Rory Galad, President of Growth at Compass, where I ask him all those questions that I said I would ask him here on this Real Word pod.
You feel good about it?
Feel great about it. It went great.
Good.
And so he was right here. We actually did it in the other office, but here in
the office.
In the office.
Yeah.
And we had that interview.
He was a nice guy.
He was great.
Good.
Asked him everything I said I would ask him. Subscribe to the channel, hit your notification bell so you don't miss that here on the
You need the bells.
At Now Bam YouTube channel. If you're on YouTube, that's where that'll get posted. All right. Opendoor in the spotlight. Not for selling homes, though. It's all about the stock. So here is a stock story. This is now being considered a meme stock. If you remember back in the AMC days and the GameStop days. What was it? The Roaring Kitty? Was it the Roaring Kitty who was the one? Did you ever watch the documentary?
Obviously.
What a great doc.
I am a
Is that the name? Roaring Kitty?
I don't think it's called Roaring Kitty.
Look up the GameStop guy. I think it was something Kitty.
It was something Kitty, but I don't think it was Roaring. But I did watch the documentary. I mean, you know that I watch all documentaries.
What a good doc.
It was a great one.
No, you were right. The Roaring Kitty.
Yeah, the Roaring Kitty.
Really, yeah. Huh.
So that was during that, COVID meme stock. I have friends.
The kids went wild for it. Yeah.
Oh, I have friends who bought AMC. I had a friend who went up a couple $100,000 on AMC.
Did they cash out in time?
I remember, it's funny because fantasy football drafts are just about to come up. I remember we were at a fantasy football draft and I'm like, I'm not going to use his name. Friend, just take 100,000 off the table. And if you want to let the other 100,000 roll, and a lot of people
because then they halted it and you couldn't do anything.
But there was time, there was a couple of weeks where it would get halted. You'd have time to sell. There was did
they make their money?
Diamond handers.
They didn't make their money.
This particular friend did not sell.
Oh, poor friend.
But there was a lot of people that didn't sell. And there was some people who smart on them got out. I mean, if you look at AMC now, it still has its moments in time, but nothing close to the peak.
It gives me such anxiety.
And so retail stockholders, the Robin Hood group, the meme stock crowd is always looking for what's going to be next. What's going to be the next short squeeze, they call it. So
and Opendoor's the one.
Maybe.
Potentially.
Institutions are looking to short stocks that, listen, Opendoor has been a crappy business for a long time, okay? I got crushed. Haley, we can go back to, I'll send you the clip. We can go back to 2001. I was posting videos about, hey, Opendoor, you're not putting agents out of business.
2001?
2021, sorry.
Whoa, I think you were 14.
I was not 14, but
not far off.
I was a senior in high school.
Yeah, 18.
YouTube didn't exist, but
no.
And if agents don't provide that opportunity for them going forward, then you're right, my friend, they will go away. But Rich Barton, the CEO of Zillow, who started Expedia, who put travel agents out of business, him and people like, Eric Wu and Keith Rabois at Opendoor have been trying for decades to do the same to agents. And because of the value that the great agents are bringing to the consumers, they haven't been able to do it yet. They haven't been able to. If they bring more value to consumers in their local markets and bring them more money on their biggest asset than they've ever had before, then that'll change. But until then, I don't see it happening. So 2021, I'm putting out videos. Hey, Opendoor business model's not that great. What did we see after? We saw Zillow get out of the business model
quickly.
Zillow understands, hey, partner with agents. Make sure that you're delivering valuable leads because you have the brand platform, but partner with what consumers want, which is an agent in their corner. Zillow understands it. Opendoor just really never got it. Lately, because of their partnership with Zillow on seller leads, they've had to acquiesce to the realities. But I mean, I can go through my comments, and Haley can post some of these comments. Opendoor is a market maker. You don't understand it. They're gonna be a market maker. A market maker means they're gonna create this whole new market.
That was the same year, though. Didn't remember we used to do Inman's like top. He thought that that whole iBuyer was gonna take over 50% too.
Yeah,
is that the same year?
Yeah, and so Opendoor's an iBuyer.
Yeah.
Brad Inman actually put out one of his bold predictions. You're not going to get all predictions right.
No.
I mean, I love replaying my predictions because I've been historically correct for a long time.
Of course you have. ByronLazine.com.
You can go there and sign up for the newsletter. But Brad Inman said over 50% of transactions are going to be iBuyer. And, that was for a good laugh on a good pod. It never got close.
No.
But listen, there's a lot of commentary, and you can go back to these videos in 2020, 2021, where I had so many YouTube comments laughing at me. Like, you don't get it. All you agents, you just don't get it. You're about to go out of business. And, Opendoor was about to get delisted. So late June, Opendoor stock was trading at 51 cents. There was warnings from the exchange, you're going to get delisted. Once you get delisted off NASDAQ, it's hard to come back from that. You're a penny stock. You're headed for bankruptcy. On July 15th, the company launched its new KeyAgent app, which is, surprise, surprise, meant to support its agent partnership program.
Right.
So from the original Opendoor days, if we can find one of these clips, Haley, we'll play it. But from the original Opendoor days, when they said, you don't need an agent anymore.
Not anymore.
They were against the agent.
You can get in the house on your own. You could do all of it.
Everything by yourself.
Scan your license or something. I remember it. Yeah.
Don't worry about agents. Opendoor is here to save the market. All of a sudden they're about to get delisted. And on July 15th, they launched KeyAgent app. This is on top of, obviously, their partnership with Zillow, which is, by the way, probably the only reason they still exist today is the partnership with Zillow. I thought Zillow at this point might buy it, but Zillow's probably looking at this as like, this is such a small little partnership.
Yeah.
Do we really want to buy the company and bail them out? I thought they would. They haven't done it. So the same day that they launched KeyAgent app, the stock began climbing. So from Tuesday, July 15th to Friday, July 18th, the stock was up 188%, with another 27% gain in pre-market trading that brought it to $2.86. I'll tell you where it is as of right now, as a recording. As of Monday morning, July 20th, shares reached $3.31, up 429% in just 1 week. So that's yesterday morning. Monday afternoon, shares went up over $4.80 before dropping under $4 again. Lance Lambert put out a tweet yesterday. So he had an hour webinar yesterday afternoon, and he had been posting all day like the gain, and it goes from 488 and then drops down to 289. He's like, I go for a webinar and it drops 41% while I'm on the webinar. I replied to the tweet, should have fell 100%. Like the stock should be out of business. And the momentum that they're getting off of, if it is truly off a KeyAgent app, which it's not off a KeyAgent app. I'll tell you why in a second. But even if it was off a KeyAgent app, all they're doing with KeyAgent app is the partnership that they're already doing with Zillow seller leads.
Right.
Which is a much bigger brand, bigger opportunity than any KeyAgent app will ever be. Getting consumers to click on the Zillow platform to, I'm having some thoughts of selling my house. What could an offer be? Is much bigger than any other agent partnership play that they could ever come up with. Why? Because of traffic with Zillow.
Right.
So KeyAgent app is a nothing burger comparison to what they're already doing, and what they were already doing wasn't working for the value of the company.
So many nothing burgers.
Okay, so much of this activity, though, appears to be tied to a post. Here's where we're getting, this is where the stock's going up. On Reddit's, what do you know, Wall Street Bets forum titled Opendoor, this isn't just a pump. They're all pumps on Wall Street Bets. All these guys on Wall Street Bets
Such
are
an awful word, pump.
They're all looking, this isn't a pump and dump. That's what you hear in crypto, pump and dump.
Yep.
They're claiming this isn't a pump. Everything on Wall Street Bets is a pump. All these retail Wall Street bettors are looking for an easy way out of life. They want to sit in the basement. And I know I'm stereotyping, but let's get real.
Of their mom's house.
They want to sit around and make easy money. There's no such thing as easy money in this world, okay? This post received over 1,600 upvotes and 760 comments. Some users joked about gambling with rent money. One claimed to have dropped $150,000 on the stock. Their target here is $30 per share. Remember, they had targets back in the day on these short squeezes. AMC.
So are you buying?
No.
Okay.
In fact, I'm gonna call my financial planner today and say, hey, let's put a short on this. I don't think the retail, it fits into the whole retail. Like, they were nostalgic about GameStop. This kind of crowd, if you look at X, formerly Twitter, a crowd like this is going to be a crowd that is also a real estate doomer, rooting for real estate prices to crash. Why? Because, like you said, they're living at mommy's house and they're sick of seeing people win. In real estate, decade after decade after decade.
People just don't like seeing other people win. It's unfortunate.
It's super unfortunate.
Yeah.
And instead of going and winning themselves, they want to go out there and it called it the next Carvana, could be 100 bagger. Estimated the stock could hit 82 over the next few years. This is ludicrous. The share of market that Opendoor has is so minuscule. If we look at Mike Del Prete, who studies this stuff, if you go to MikeDP.com, operating cash flow for 2024, put the chart up. Redfin, Opendoor, the biggest loser. You've got brokerages, Real, Remax, Anywhere, Compass, EXP, CoStar, Zillow, Rocket, all with major operating cash flow in the positives anyway. Opendoor in the extreme negatives. Operating cash flow, Zillow versus Opendoor. Zillow's the only safety net Opendoor has right now. And so you got to find a way to generate cash, right? This is the argument against AMC. Like, how are you generating cash? Their cash balance in quarter one of 2023 was at 1.1 billion. Quarter four, 2024, 670 million. It's moving the wrong direction, their cash balance. By the way, they didn't make this money. They raised it all. So Opendoor, he asks in this article a few months ago, consider a business model pivot before its cash runway expires. The only pivot they have is leaning more into agent, recognizing that their model was flawed to begin with. And you're already seeing that with this key app, which isn't going to move the share, in a major direction. So The Reddit crowd is being fueled by a hedge fund manager, EMJ Capital. It poured gas on the fire. This Jackson, who gained attention for calling the rise of Carvana when it was trading below $4 a share, started tweeting about Opendoor on July 14th. He called the next Carvana, suggesting it could be this 100-bagger. Estimated could hit 82 over the next few years. Jackson, I'll take the under on 82. Opendoor is expected to report its first ever positive EBITDA next quarter, is what Jackson highlighted. The company also aggressively cut costs. It has fewer direct competitors in the iBuying space than before because people don't do iBuying. I mean, right. And listen, agents, if you have iBuying competition in your market, just use Zoodealio. It's included in the BAMX package. You generate 4 offers, and they partner with agents because they get it. Consumers still want that strategist in their corner. You get your Zoodealio platform included now in BAMX. It's a $2,400 savings. Basically, we're paying you to be in BAMX. So again, Opendoor has faced the potential delisting. This little meme stock burst has saved that for the moment. The company experienced a 92% drop from early 21 peak of nearly $40 a share to $1.16 by the end of 22. All those 2021 comments that I got that I was an idiot that paid $40. You just went up 400% in the last couple of days. You're still only trading at 3. Let's see, what are they at right here? We're recording this Tuesday morning. They're off of yesterday's highs. They're at 337. Now, what happened during the meme stock? You'd see these pops, 400%. They're up 130% today. So if you bought at the opening today,
at 51, or if you bought at 51, or if you just had it at 51 cents,
like if they have a drop, you could buy it and try. You could try to play this game. Like you could try to guess on the blackjack table when blackjack's gonna hit. You could consider, because you read posts on Reddit, you can consider yourself a card
if it's going to gain traction,
a card counter, but yeah. It's gonna run out at some point. I mean, look, I haven't done it in a long time. When the fundamentals of a company are so poor, there's a reason why everybody was shorting them. AMC right now is at a $3.44. Nicole, the peak during this time frame was $261 back in June of 2021. 206 people bought at 261 like it's going to go to 500. It's going to go to 1,000. It's going to the moon. And it's $3.44.
Yeah.
Like, bring a viable strategy to the market. You want to gamble your money, gamble your money. I don't feel bad for people that lose money in stocks like this. Because you're just being an idiot. AMC, what was the other one? GameStop. GameStop's at $24. The peak during, and you probably watched the documentary, so I'm not telling you anything you don't know. The peak was $81.25. So GameStop's actually done a little better. Okay. From the peak, but still well off of the peak. GameStop is down 21% year to date. Okay. So that's what happened. And it may take 6 months. It may take 3 months. I think it takes less with Opendoor. I don't think they're going to have as much of a push as some of these other ones. They're doing layoffs. They're trying to restructure. They're trying to partner now with more agents, which their whole thesis of raising money and building this company was that agents were not needed anymore. And now they're completely doing an about face on that. Nicole, agents, we all want and need more listings. We want to be able to capture the business from our clients. So it means we need to stay in front of them, front and center when they're thinking about real estate, when they're making a real estate decision. That's why I love what Reminder Media is doing for agents across the country, producing high quality physical and digital magazines where you can tell a full story about what's going on in your community, what's happening in the market, and reminding people that you are the expert that they should be reaching out to when it comes to making a real estate decision. Reminder Media is a resource that you need in your corner to stay in front of your clients. You also get a free sample magazine by using the link that I'll put right down below. Check out Reminder Media and everything that they have to offer you and helping you stay in front of your clients. iBuying, does it have a place. I believe it does, a very small place like Zudelio, but just where are you landing on?
Well,
on
again, I
iBuying?
think this is just like we've always said. Just there's options. This is another option. I've actually personally never used Zudelio, but I do love like you've always said, like you can kind of figure out where the bottom of the market is there. So again, I like the options.
So
I kind of hope that this turns into another documentary. I feel like Netflix is due for a good pop of one. So
I hope it does too, because they're going to take my clips of being historically correct for years and saying Opendoor is one of the worst stocks to invest in. But what do you know? This KeyAgent Opendoor app, they're basically trying to.
they're giving you an offer in 2 days.
They're trying to be little brother to Big Daddy.
Yeah.
Zillow. Zillow's got the everything app. They're not ever going to be, listen, Opendoor's app's never going to be a little brother.
No.
They're not going to be the redheaded stepchild.
Ooh.
They're just going to be irrelevant over the next couple of years. And you can mark my word. I've been calling this day for years. I've been historically correct. And, I mean, I'm looking at a TikTok video I have right now with the CEO of Prete. I really like her. She called them a unicorn because they're tech driven. They're not, and they were never a unicorn. They were never a midget pony. They were a nothing, and they're continuing to show that. All right. So from what should be an under dollar stock to the $1 home marketing tactic that Realtor.com just wrote a story on the $1 home marketing tactic.
Realtor.com is like coming in hot this year.
Well, not just this year. They have great articles, great data. It's a great resource. But their marketing tactic, $1 home marketing tactic, is rising steadily as sellers try to get creative. Is this a smart strategy to list a home at a $1 price tag and see where the market goes? What do you think, Nicole? You list a lot of properties, and
I think it's very interesting. Like I said when we were sort of chatting about the article originally, I would love to do it just to see, like, can you imagine the smorgasbord of offers that would come in on something that was listed at $1?
Not always.
You think they would all come in at the same?
I've listed one property over the last 15 years at $1,
and
I got no offers.
Nothing.
Nothing.
What was the year though?
I mean, it was during probably 15, 16 maybe.
Okay.
Maybe 17.
Did you get showings, or you just get people that were
So
nervous? They were nervous.
My point is, this was an undesirable piece of land.
Okay.
So we'll talk about, obviously, the strategy that you're talking about.
Then they're probably worried.
Is on a single family house. Single family houses are very desirable. So it was a local town, and they said, we want to list it at this. I said, your land's not worth that. Well, we would take, whatever we could get, because just cleaning up this land, it wasn't environmental concerns, but it was just kind of like an eyesore. If somebody would build on it near our small little town center, that would be better for, we get tax revenue out of it. It'd just be better for the town center, for the community.
Okay.
I said, well then, if it's just about somebody developing it, let's list it for $1 and approve, obviously, the building plan, which you're going to be able to do anyway, as a structure of the deal, and then see what pops up. It could be something very great for the town. And we listed for $1. We didn't even get a call. Actually, I think I got a couple calls, and it was like,
probably like, what the hell, is that a typo?
Yeah, tire kick, whatever. So there was no viable interest, and so the $1 strategy doesn't work when you've already been listed. Think about, I used to see concierge auctions during those high inventory days.
Yeah.
Love concierge. Laura Brady built the company. She's a phenomenal executive in our space. But I used to see homes that would go through 2 or 3 agents, then they'd go concierge, and they would always take a lower price through the auction than they would have gotten had they done a realistic price day one.
Correct.
Instead of going super aspirational on the pricing from the beginning. So if you already have a home that's listed and the market's not responding and negotiating
you
on
can't do
current.
$1 now because you're like, oh, I see where they were. I see where it didn't go. Yeah, no, you can't do that. You can't. That's what I'm saying. Because I think if you start out at a house that's maybe never even been on the market, maybe it's the first time that it's been on the market. You just built it in like 2020 or something. It would be very interesting to see where all those offers come in.
It'd be interesting, but it has to be a house. So here's what I'm saying about the story about like, if you have a house that's not getting interest now and you try to go to $1, it's gonna be very confusing.
Terrible.
You're gonna end up driving price down.
Of course.
Similar to the auction strategy that on a house that's already been tested to the market multiple times. Similar to the land where it's like there's just not interest in that land. It's a crap piece of land, listing it at $1.
Well, and again, if it's a crap piece of land and it's only $1, it's like, oh, what's wrong with it?
It's just, in those two scenarios.
Well, and the market was so different then too, but
the dollar strategy doesn't work if there's not an abundance of interest, meaning the only time to use the dollar strategy is when there's already going to be significant interest on the property because it's a diversion. It confuses the market just enough where it's like there's so much interest and they start guessing, well, the last comp was 500. Maybe they're looking for 550, and it starts to drive a true bidding war because there's interest, there's demand.
Well, that's the biggest thing. I feel like it is a true bidding war because then it's not like, oh, that's listed for $599. Hey, Nicole, how far over list price do you think we need to go?
Yeah.
Now it's you truly coming in and paying or offering what it is that you're willing to buy it for.
That's right. But just because something's listed for $1, if there's not going to be demand for the product to begin with, you're not going to get into a bidding war.
Correct.
Nicole, the other night, I brought over a nice bottle of tequila, some Blanco tequila. And I noticed on your shelf that there was a bottle of Jose Cuervo. If you said to me, hey, if the bottle that I brought over was there and the Jose Cuervo was there, and you said, hey, you can take the bottle of Cuervo for $1, or you can have this bottle. Anybody that knows about Fortaleza, that's not the bottle, but Fortaleza would be something like, hey, a lot of demand. It's very hard to get a bottle of Fortaleza right now. I'm going to start the bidding of Fortaleza at 100. I'm bidding on the Fortaleza at 100. I'm ignoring the Jose Cuervo for $1.
Yeah.
Even though Jose Cuervo sells for more than $1, if you want to buy it, you gotta be nuts to drink it.
You just want to feel all right the next day.
Yeah.
I'm putting my money on feeling good the next day.
I didn't feel that great the next day, but that's a whole other story.
Well.
All right. Economists believe real estate agents have to invest new ways to interest buyers, especially when home listing prices are on the rise. In June, 512 homes, according to Realtor.com analysts, were listed for a sale price of $1 to 24% more than June 2020. So listed at a price of $1, which is 24% more than June 2024 and 82.9% more than in June 2023. So
the market was different.
Inventory going up.
Yeah.
And more agents are willing, 512 homes, to say, let's go try this $1 strategy. And they're looking to get attention from buyers. So I guess this is the other place it could work. You do have a lot of inventory. Buyers are confused. Man, there's 20 homes on the market in my price range. What does that tell me? I can take 3 weeks to tour these homes. I don't got to get it right out there. You want to increase instant tours? Well, we should go look at the $1 one before we look at the other 20.
For sure.
Right?
I wonder what they're actually selling for.
So there's a story in here. An agent said, I knew it would trigger insanity only if there's going to be tours.
Well, they're also saying that there's some of these are just scams too, which is unfortunate, obviously.
Yep. Got to be careful with that. Real estate agents argue the $1 home marketing scheme is unethical. No, that's crazy. And then the Sylvia.
They're just pissed that they're not, because their sellers are probably like.
You're being obnoxious and do the same thing when you list a house for $100,000 less than it's worth. When you go under comp value to drive price
strategy.
Up. This is all strategy. This isn't unethical. Don't be listen. Don't.
You're being obnoxious. But who said it's $100,000 less than it's worth? Who's determining that? Just the buyer's determining that, not you as the agent.
The market determines price.
Correct.
All right, and the market will, over time, determine the price of this Opendoor stock. We'll see what happens.
So you're telling me I shouldn't buy?
I mean, listen, right now, you buy right now, it may be $10 tomorrow. Like you're just kind of playing roulette.
But I can't be your friend and not sell.
I wouldn't suggest it.
Yeah.
I'm not your financial advisor. This isn't, by the way, this whole podcast was not financial advice.
No financial advice.
So do what you want to do. It's your money.
Let's go.
But I have a feeling I'll be right again on Opendoor. It's like, how many predictions can you be right on Opendoor? Like, it's just like, I mean, I'm just stacking up win after win.
You've been patted. Good job.
Yeah, thank you.
Yep.
All right, guys, keep it real. We'll see you next week.
See you guys.
Arizona and West Coast agents, the only in-person BAM event this year is happening September 24th in Scottsdale, Arizona. Join us in Arizona for this full-day event, mid-tier pricing, halfway sold out, only 8 VIP tickets left, and we do still have general admission. There's a link down below if you're interested. September 24th, Scottsdale. Can't wait to see you there.